Well, hello boys and girls. I'll allow you to take a look with me while I'll add an extra room to this map which I designed with the Kthura Map Editor for the remake of the Secrets of Dyrt. A Kthura map contains layers. They are just kind of rooms that the player will go through, and let's start with creating the room. Yeah, I don't have a license to kill. And then we are going to design the room itself. Kthura has several kinds of objects, and let's first get into the tiled area. The checkerboard is just to have a clear view of the distance 32 by 32 pixels. And the red area should always be avoided. Well, let's pick the texture for the back wall. The blue textures are those which are not used at all in this map. The amber ones have been used at least once in any of the layers, which just helps me to quickly find the textures I need. And yeah, this one is good. Basically, as the name implies, it's just an area of all of the same stuff. What hinders me a little is that I am just using the game bar and that the timer of that damn thing is a bit in the way. Anyway, this is not the way I want it, so then I pick modify, I select the item and I just press the delete key, and boom, it's ignored or not removed. And let's do it right this time. Yeah, that should do it. That's 1, and this is 2, 3, and 4. And now we're gonna play this with this a little. Yes, the impassable switch, well, it does what the name implies. It just makes sure that the player can't move through it. And now I'm unchecking it. Why am I doing that, you wonder? Easy. The area here will be a secret passage, and this here will be the actual room itself. Well, let's see. Oh, now I get it. Now we are getting a bit into the magic behind Kthura, because it's not a tile-based editor, it is an object-based editor, and that makes that I can do some very nasty tricks. Like this. Yes, that's more like it. Bingo. Actually, I messed that up. Let's do that again, shall we? Setting. That's better. That should do it. Ooh, that's not a very nice setting. Yep, that should do it. Very good, very good, very good. Now Kthura is sophisticated enough to memorize what I used a texture for last. And you should see that impassable and dominance changed automatically as I chose the floor texture. Dominance is for how dominant an object is. The more dominant, the more it will get on front. By giving the floor a low dominance, I can at least assure that the texture will always be on the backside of the player and never in front of it. I will fine-tune that one later. That checkbox that was situated before the insert fields here, make sure that the values will always be correct in accordance with the other floor, even if I go outside the normal grid. This can help a lot. Yes, now it fills up nicely. That should do it. Oh, what do I see here? Things are not completely the way I want it. Oh, what? Wrong value. This one. That's better. Well, and now we have the basic setup. Now, obstacles is a nice feature to do a few tricks with. And for this, I will turn off the grid mode. And then anything I place will technically ignore the grid, so I can use any kind of size and stuff. Obstacles are just things that appear on the map, do not take multiple tiles like multiple objects do. And let's pick the torch. Toortsbrandend. Toorts is the Dutch word for torch. Brandend means burning. That sometimes happens. Okay, now we'll do it right. Perhaps I will have to lower this one a bit. Yes, that will do. And let's save this. This sometimes goes wrong. Animation speed, and when I set it, the torch will burn or move. Now, an important note about animation speed: the higher the number, the quicker it goes. Without a value it takes 0, 1 it goes a tiny bit slower, 2 even more. I set it to 20, it will go very frustratingly slow, so I won't do that. Let's go for 7. Yes, that does nicely. 10. 8. 3 will do, now 4. That's better. 6. 12. 5. 9. And if you have played Star Story or the second Fairy Tale, in which the Kthura Map System was also used, then you may already have seen that the torches were never burning at the same speed. Well, you've now seen the secret, how that works. Because Kthura is object oriented, each torch is a separate object with its own parameters and thus its own settings. Other. Other is most of all used to set up some things that are not set in any of the other things. I guess that's obvious. Exit is actually the exit point, which sounds a bit odd as I now use it to create a start point. That's why I tag it as start. Wind. And because of this point, the player will always enter this room at that specific spot, facing north. Switch. Name switch. Open boss. Now this sounds a bit cryptic. This name is used by the scripts that run the game itself. And open boss is just a reference to which function to run in the script that lies under this map in the game. I'm not going to demonstrate the scripts in this particular video though. Set left stuck no. And here is our switch, which I can work with later. Random treasure. This allows me to put a few cute little treasure spots in the room, and the game will eventually put random treasures on them. Tags. Any object can have a tag, and the game script will, thanks to the tags, be enabled to find a certain object, or in this particular case, react if the player enters that specific place. Zones are basically invisible areas that I can use to make the game react to a few things. Let's turn on the grid mode again, shall we? And the zones I place now will just have to make sure that when the player clicks anywhere outside of the field, that the game won't do anything bombastic. Well, this will do for now. There are a few more fine-tunings to take care of before I can actually put this fully in game. A nice feature to show is show block map. This allows me to have a quick view on what areas the player can enter and which they cannot. And then we see that there are a few impurities blocking the way, while those outside of the field were not to be entered anyway, but those in the field should not be there. So that is why I will first save and then scan and remove rotten objects. And this allows me to find objects that were placed by accident, which should actually never have been there, but which are impossible to click. And if I show block map now, we can see that all those impurities are away. And you can see that I made the walls at the side not impassable, so that the player can in the end pass those and enter the areas, the secret area. Oh, that is not a well thing to do. I can remove that later, but I wanted this to do more properly. Let's remove that zone. And this was a quick view in how you can quickly set up an area in Kthura. Not the most complex thing I've done here, but hey. Let's put on one more thing. A candle. Modify. Yeah. Let's make it a bit smaller. That's not completely working yet. Let's at least animate it. That will do. Well, let's turn it over by 3 degrees. And let's turn this one -2 degrees. Yeah. That puts on pretty nicely. And a few more. Put them. Yes. A few carpets are nice. Less dominant, and let's rotate it for, say, 30 degrees clockwise. 40 degrees counterclockwise. And 95 degrees. You can see that the modifying selector is not entirely set up for that. Not entirely sure what I can do to fix that properly, but it works good enough for me. Well, what do you think? Well, this was it. I hope you liked this little demonstration. And, well, perhaps I may show you some more things later. Bye bye.